Hello, baby girl. Okay, it's not doing it. Yes, baby, good girl. Oh, for God's sake. You lay down, baby girl. Right, hello. Can anybody hear me?
How's your dog, Keith?
Yeah, I'm here. Who's Alice?
Oh, I don't know what's happened there, Keith. It's supposed to be me.
Oh, that's fair enough. Yeah, that is you. Hello, Alice. That's fine. And who else is there? Catherine's vanished, or she's just starting. Anne's vanished, but she's just starting. Right, apologies about all the kerfuffling today. I was really, really worried about this little doggy, but she seems to be all right now. Except she might be about to piddle in my studio, but never mind. If she does, she does. Right. Okay. I've set everything up really quickly this morning and it's all a mess. So I don't know if you're ever going to be able to see my ugly mug, but it doesn't really. Yes, there I am. It doesn't matter, but never mind. Here I am. And
hello.
I'll get started straight away. Anne's there. Catherine's there. See if anybody else. Quite a few people may have got confused by all the ins and outs. Can you hear me, by the way?
Yes.
That's all right then.
Yeah.
And is it recording?
It is. Keith had said at the beginning it was recording.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
all right
it
then.
did say
So
at
it
the
should be, everything should be all right then. I'll just leave all the controls alone, except to switch to the picture, and then I'll get started. On black. There. It's an old board, which I think Liz gave me, which had something or other else on it. And I PVA'd it, and I've given it a coat of burnt sienna by the looks of it. I haven't got a camera set up for my palette, so I'll just set out a few colors and then I'll get started. What do I need? I need white. I'll show you what I've done after. I need white, and I need, put you over there, white. Some blue. I've got ultramarine, that'll do. We're doing a woodlandy bit, so I'll need my umber, war umber. I'll need some yellow ochre. And I'm going to try and keep this fairly, what's the word I'm looking for, limited. I've got light red and I'll stick some native yellow in. If I can find it. Native yellow, there we go. And that'll do for now. It's nearly all earth colours apart from blue. Right, okay, I'll show you the palette. There we have titanium white, ultramarine, war umber, yellow ochre, light red, and Naples yellow, and that's all I'm going to be using. I'm not using any bright colors yet. I might in the end. Okay, I'm using my usual dippy things of, that one is poppy oil and that one is Alkyd medium. And now I'm going to, yes, I will do a little scribbly outliney thing. I'll use a little brush for it. If I can get a little brush out of here without knocking everything over. Okay, you get down there. And off we go. I'll use a little bit of turps to mix this with. I'll just use some white and touch of yellow ochre because I've got a very dark board there. That light is going to be annoying, so I'll turn it up there. You should still be able to see what I'm doing. Now, picture. Where have you gone, the picture? Okay, we've got a pathway. I won't put Paul Bow in it. That my little dog in the middle, my ex-dog, poor old Bow. And then I'll do a lump over that side. We've got a big tree just off center. That goes up there and across. And the path goes along there. And down here. There is another path going off that way, but I'll get rid of that. Okay, there you go. That is a very detailed drawing, as you can see, because I only want to do a very quick painting today. I'm a little bit, there's nobody else in the waiting room, is there? I thought Bab said she was coming, but never mind. Right, okay. Oh, hello, Vicky. I didn't see you there.
Yeah.
Right.
Can you see me, please?
Pardon?
Jenny's here. Can you see me or not?
Who's here?
Jenny.
Yeah, I saw you, Jen.
All right. Okay.
It's the only one I can't see is Catherine. I can see her name, but I can't see her face.
Okay.
Right, anyway, if you can see me, that's all that matters, really. He said big-headedly. Okay, now, I'll lift that up. I've mixed a grey colour using ultramarine and umber, my two favourite colours when it comes to backgrounds and things. And come back picture. There. I'm going to block in some darks over here. This is rather shiny because I put some,
Have you found them?
I don't know what I put in it, some probably linseed oil in it when I primed the canvas with oil paint. But anyway, it's covering. So there's a dark clump there, another dark clump here, nice and thin. I'm using just terps to thin this with.
Apologies, Keith. It's Vicky.
Say again.
Apologies for interrupting. I've never painted with oil before. I'm normally acrylic. So, you know, when you're painting with oil, would you always put a coat of an oil as the base on a canvas before you start?
I use, the reason I do, when I'm painting in oils or acrylics, I almost always put some sort of a coat on to take the glare off paper, off the canvas.
Right.
Usually I put raw sienna on, which is warm, because this had something very bright on it, which I can't actually make out. Oh, I know what it is. It's my big red rose, which was rubbish. I put a dark color on top of it to hide that. It's just a reused canvas, but the short answer is usually when I'm doing oils, I put an undercoat of something on it.
And so would you suggest actually
with oils,
you're
not using the white of the support to give you the color. With watercolor, most water-based things, you use the light reflecting back off the canvas to give you the colors, but with oils you don't. So it takes away that little bit of fear that you get when you're faced with a stark white canvas.
Yeah. So you'd say do the same for acrylic really as well, so have that base.
Say again.
Do you suggest do the same with acrylic as well to take that white base away? And the risk of-
Usually, yes. Sometimes with it depends on the type of acrylics I'm doing. If I'm doing a thin acrylic on paper, then I might leave it white like a watercolor.
Yeah.
But if I'm doing acrylics like oils, I'll usually put raw sienna on it, which is more that color than that color. Right, okay. Is that okay? Makes sense?
Yeah, great, thank you.
Yeah, okay. Now clean that brush because I've put it in a wee bob. I'm going to do the sky. Start the sky. I'm just using the brush as it is. I'm going to pull that yellow into the sky because I don't mind it being there. Because most of that's going to get covered anyway. And again, the reason I'm just using terps as a thinner for the underpainting is because if you use terps, or white spirit it is, not pure terps in this case, if you use that, it dries a lot quicker. I won't go into the chemistry of it, but basically the white spirit evaporates and just leaves a very thin layer of oil paint on the canvas, which does dry quickly. The thicker you put oil paint on, the longer it takes to dry or oxidize. Technically, it doesn't dry, it changes its state.
So if you dilute it with thinners, it dries quicker.
Say again.
So if you dilute it with something like thinners, it'll dry quicker or oxidize quicker.
With what I've got in that pot there,
yeah,
is I forgot alkyd medium, and that causes it to dry quicker. If you buy alkyd paints, they're suspended in that anyway,
right,
and they do dry quickly. They're touch dry in 24-48 hours, whereas if you just use normal oil paints thinned with linseed oil or poppy oil in my case, then they can take up to 3 years to dry properly, but 3 months is the accepted thing before they're completely cured on top. It's a funny business. You need to, if you're going to do a lot of oils and you want to understand them, it's worth looking at the chemistry of it. But you don't need to. All you need to know is they don't varnish them straight away because they'll crack. And never, ever, ever paint acrylics on top of oil, because the acrylic dries in minutes, and then you've got the oil curing underneath it and the whole thing will crack. So you can paint oil on top of acrylic, which I very often do. All I'm doing now is I'm breaking up the sky to make it a sort of, to give it some texture. I don't know if you can see that or if the light's too shiny. Let's take that off. I might leave that off. It's quite bland in here. So, and I can see it better on the screen than I can in real life. So there we go. I put, there's brush strokes in that because I don't want the sky to be completely flat. Okay, we've got that. Clean that brush. You can see now I've got that bright light off. Oh, who's that? Paul Linicus.
Keith,
Yeah,
Pauline wants to come
Yeah.
in.
yeah, I've just let her in now. Are you there, Pauline? Yes, there you are. Oh, I can see Catherine's shelf now. I can't see Catherine, but I can see her shelf.
Oh no.
Right, there we go. So, to recap, I put dark blobs on either side, which is where the trees go off, and I've put in a sky area. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to use some raw umber. This is just paint, nothing else, and I'm going to blend it into that sky just to soften the edge. So that hasn't got any turps or oil in it at all. I'm just blending that in. I'm going to use a blendy brush. That's what these fan things are for. You can use them for all sorts of other things, but blending is what they're made for. So now, rather than just a blob, that looks almost misty around the edges. Do the same on the other side. This, Pauline, is working because all this paint is wet. I put the raw umber and ultramarine mix in first, then I put the sky down, and now I'm blending the two. Because on the picture it's a sort of murky, manky grey day. And I want to create that effect and still have these autumn leaves singing out. So hopefully that looks a bit foggy, misty. Now go give that a little chance to go off. And I'm going to put some foreground in now, using that little filbert brush. A filbert is not quite a flat brush. Where's a flat? That's a big flat, and it's got rectangular edges, or it used to have, and that's got a rounded end, so it makes slightly different marks. Now, foreground, light red into that color. There's the light red into that manky color, which is the blue, the ultramarine and the umber, which is one of my, well, probably is my favorite way of making darks. If you mix, actually that's raw umber, but if you mix burnt umber with ultramarine, you get almost black. But you get almost black with this. Because I put some red into it, it goes almost black, really, really deep purple. Oh, are they still going deep purple, Pauline?
Oh.
Now, I've got that as thin wet paint, so I can put some highlights into it, just blending them in. And more on the other side, bit darker, bit more umber, bit more like red. We've got that. Now I'm going to mix some of the light red into the sky color, add some of the Naples yellow, and I've got a sort of pale orangey sort of color. I'm going to use that for the path. So there, we've got the path going in, disappearing over a little hill there, which I'll show with trees getting a different shape. What did I do with my cup of cold coffee? There it is. Now, that is basically the underpainting. It's all very thin. It's all very peely-wallied. I'm looking to see what all these messages are I've missed. There we go. Wow, Jesse's done a wee outside.
Wow.
That is a first. Hang on, I've got to get back to Caroline. No wonder she looks exhausted. Oh, that is absolutely wonderful news. Sorry, I know it's completely nothing to do with this, but it really is big. That's the first thing she's done like a proper dog, apart from have buses. Maybe that's why she was so funny this morning. She was bursting for a week. Anyway, enough. Right, I'm going to put in some trees. Okay. Most of this painting is going to be done in umber and ultramarine as a base. So that is, I'm mixing the raw umber, the ultramarine, and to lighten it, I'm going to put in some of the yellow ochre. And some of the white. And that gives me a sort of pale tree trunky colour. That's a technical term, by the way. Learn it, write it down. Pale tree trunky colour. Right, okay, I better get back to the picture. What I can't find, never mind, I'll guess. I know roughly what it was like. I've been there dozens of times. There's a tree which on my photograph has been made to go that way, but it should be standing up. So I'll put standing up tree, which is a silver birch and quite light. Now that is the same color. You see how it looks really dark against the sky. and quite light by the time you get here. That's called counter change, which is not when you take something back to the shop and swap it for something else at the counter. Bubble. There you go. There's one tree trunk, two tree trunks, and they're basically a brush stroke each. Just to put them in. They're trees. I have no control over where they grow. I'm going to make a darker tree trunk with two yews and a thinner one. This, by the way, is a day-long Dale Rowney brush. It's very old and it's synthetic, but it's handy for using with oils. Put a hazel or something up there to make a difference. Dark at the bottom and lots of spready out branchy bits. I'll put a big clump of bushy stuff going in there. I'm just putting some dark bits. There. Oh, look at that. See how that really shows up on the screen. I can hardly see it in real life. Weird. Okay, that's that. On the other side, I'm going to do pretty much the same. Right. Pardon me. I'm going to do some more scumbly here for another dark bush. This time, into my two yews, I'm adding a bit of Naples yellow. Which should give it a slightly greenier hint. Naples yellow is a very pale ochre sort of colour. Instead of sienna, it comes from Naples. Now I'm adding, as I go on into that, I'm adding bits of Naples yellow and yellow ochre because I want this to look a bit greener. Because it's the other side and the grass is always greener on the other side. You're supposed to laugh there. Oh well. Some blues and some browns base to make it nice and dark.
I've never used Totoro. Please. They've got room in here.
Just doubling in little bits of foliage, leafy bits. Well, not leafy bits, but twiggy bits.
Thank you.
Because all this is basically the backdrop to those glorious leaves. See, the same paint, if I put it on there, it looks dark. I put it on there, it looks light. It's all a question of what you put your paint next to. Juxtapositioning, they call that. Or counter change, or light against dark, dark against light. Doesn't matter how you remember it, but light against dark always looks good. And some colours appear light or dark depending on what they're against. Right, now, get my favourite brush if I can find it. There it is. I need to get a new one of these, but that is my Rosemary and Co. Ivory Rigger number 4. It's a very versatile brush, and riggers are usually soft brushes, but these are, well, they're quite soft, but they're bristle brushes. They're long-haired riggers, and I've got several. This one's my favourite because it's thin, but it's great for doing trees and twiggy bits and stuff like that. So all I'm doing is putting some shadier, not shadier, fuzzier, mistier trees further back. Doesn't matter if I go through those, I can always reinforce later. I want to give the impression that that's quite thick woodland over there, but it's in its autumn state of undress. Okay, we've got bits coming and going there. Thinning this down now with poppy oil. I'm just dropping in some branches here and there. Right, we've got lots of tree branches that side. Mix of grey with umber and white. And that's for these ones on this side. Some more white. All over there. Okay. Now, still using this brush. I'm going to turn those pale bits into, hopefully, silver birches. So pure white mixed into some of that grey colour. Then one side. Put a third one. There. And those I will give a yellowier light side too. And same with this one over here. More, I'm putting the yellow ochre into this to give these their light bits. Okay. Now, on the other side, I'm going to mix up the two hues to make a really dark colour. And then take it down that side. Now get a little soft brush if I can find one. That one will do. Just to blend them a little bit. Now at the bottom, put some rough stuff. This is also a rigger. That's the, oh, that's a Scepter Gold. That used to be a really good brush. Again, it's synthetic, but it's God, I think I was still in Chester Road when I bought this. So it's 30 years old. I do make a point of saying how old some of my brushes are because it is worth spending just a little bit more. Scepter Golds aren't massively expensive. I don't think they're even made anymore, but they're pretty good quality students' brushes. And if you wash them, they last and last and last and last. Okay, we've got lots of stuff burbling about there. Put some more lights into this. Now, back to the bristly one. And make some more definite branches coming out of these. Now these branches are just mixes of all the colors that I've already used. Some lighter, some darker. And I'm just letting them seem to grow fairly normally. And I'm trying to be careful to keep branches from going behind trees that are behind the branches, if you see what I mean. I'm trying to make it look fairly logical. I once painted a picture and had it on, it was in Twig, I had it up for sale and all sorts. And when I was sitting at the desk, I realized that I had a tree in the front and a tree which was obviously yards behind it. and one of the branches from the back of that tree was coming in front of this one. I really wanted just to take it down and go home with it and say, sorry, everybody, it's a mistake. But I don't think anybody else ever noticed. Some baby trees. And put some more detail into that stumpy tree there. Punching in some shadowy bits to give that one. Actually, it is quite a good practice to use a TV screen or a camera screen to watch what you're painting, because those, to me, look all right on the painting, but they really are too dark when you look at them on the screen. Put some dappley bits in there. Weird. No, you can't see it if I do that. Right, okay, now put some more darks going down there. Digital art. Blendy, blendy. Actually, I shall leave that until I put the other side in. Okay, now that is the skeleton. Blend that a little bit more. You have to take my word for it. It's not quite as stark as it looks on that screen. Now, I've got lots of brushes in there, drying, cleaning, whatever. And what I want now is, hello, little Jessie dog. What are you doing down there? Oh, you're a good girl. You've been fiddly widdlies outside. They'll do. I'm looking for small brushes, which I should have set out before, but I was very disorganized this morning. These are a bunch of sapphire and Cotman brushes, which I'll be using for oil and then cleaning carefully. The next things I want are, if I can find them, cadmium red, cadmium yellow, and my old friend Terry bird, me green. Put some of the green down there. I won't want much of it. I'll pick that up after. And cadmium yellow. Cadmium red. And now, okay, color theory. Everything on there is based on earth colors. It's all, apart from the ultramarine, there's ultramarine blue, and then everything else is raw umber, yellow ochre, light red, and Naples yellow, all of which are colors made out of mud. What I'm going to do now, you can see the difference on the palette. I've got cadmium red, cadmium yellow, and I've also got some Terabert, which I'll use for making greens, changing the color of that green. Now, touch of poppy oil. Yellow. When you're mixing colors, put your lightest color in first. And then some red. Cadmium red's a bugger. It's really, really strong. So see how that has come into a really singing orange already. And I'm using this little brush. And this is where my impressionistic thing comes in. I'm going to start. It's not thick enough. Needs to be practically tube consistency, this. See how that sings against background now. Bit yellow, yeah. I'm bringing in small dabs of Naples now. Just to vary some of these. Tone some of it down by adding some white. And they go further back, hopefully. Okay. Clean that brush. In fact, I'll leave it soak and I'll use a different one. On this side, more Naples yellow base, touch of the red into that. It'll give me a more pinky color. Touch of the umber to kill the pinky color, and we've got a sort of dead beech leaf color. See the difference? That one started off with Naples yellow, touch of the red, and then I put tiny touch of the burnt umber into it, and that gets a difference between that orange and that pinky orange there, which is the ones I'm going to put over here. I need more. I'm just mixing it stronger, exactly the same colors, but stronger. A little bit more of the raw umber in the ones top here because they'll look dark against the sky. Some very light stuff in there, just where it's either wet or catching the light. It's not working. Now on this birch, I'm using almost pure yellow. And they have got little diddy leaves. Sorry, I've gone really quiet. I'm trying to think, which is never easy for me. The idea of doing this is to make it look almost random, but really you're trying to make logical marks, which could be where leaves are hanging on twigs, but also try to help the overall design by balancing. Now some very peely wally ones further off, lots of white. Now we're nearly there. I just need to put some leaves on, or make the path look as if it's got leaves on it. Mainly umber, some yellow ochre, and lots of white. And because it's a path, these I've tried to dot around so that they're almost blown in the wind. This is flat on the floor. So the brush strokes, I'm using the side of the brush. Some light red in there, try to cheer it up a bit. Need a shadow going down that side of the path. The grass is coming up. Where is my, gosh, that was good first go. No, it isn't. Where has my fan gone? Never mind, I'll use that one. Okay, underneath there, I'm gonna bash the brush into these colors. Little brush. This is where I have to guard against fapping. I was looking for my little brush all the time. It was in my flipping hand. Put some more leafy bits. As I say, this is where I've got to really guard against fapping about. Some dark bits. Okay, I'm going to knock that one on the head and call it Last of the Autumn Leaves, which is almost a TV program. So that is more or less that.
It looks very nice, Keith.
Yeah.
Say
looks
again.
good.
It looks very nice.
Yeah.
I'm quite
Yeah.
pleased. I'm quite
Very
pleased.
effective.
I'll wait until it's dry and then put it back. But for an hour's demonstration, I'm not too. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I know what I was going to do. I was meaning to do it ages ago and I forgot. So, white touch of cadmium, not cadmium, ultramarine, and just with my tiny brush, put some highlights. Not enough white. Now, clean the brush. It's going to have to be pure white. Just to make these birches stick out a little bit more. This is straight out of the tube, titanium white. And I'm not doing a whole line, I'm just doing
Oh, right.
dots.
Yeah.
And see how it's making them stand out against the back now, they're glowing a bit.
Yeah.
They're my favourite trees. I absolutely love silver birches. Yeah, that works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's fine. I'll put a little couple of touches on that one further back. And mix up some of the Naples yellow and yellow ochre. I'll do the same for some of these branches, just a little bit, but not quite so white. So unless we have little bits of sunlight hitting the trees, there's no reason for the leaves to glow. That doesn't look quite so sudden on the page itself, on the canvas itself. There we go. I'll take a proper photo. Behave. That's because I moved my hand backwards and forwards. Bloody annoying, this camera. Cost a fortune. And there's no way of switching off the autofocus. It's made for conferencing. And it's supposed to follow your head. Right, okay, so that's that. I'll take a proper picture of it and put it on the group. Oh, somebody's given me a chat. Oh, thank you, Vicky. Oh, poor old Vicky had to go to work. Right, okay, she's gone. And what I'll do is I'll change cameras. Oops. To get my ugly mug. And then I'll do stop share. And everyone can have a natter. Oh, there we go. I've gone there. Right, so has anybody done anything?
No, I'll do it later.
Yeah, coward. Anybody done something?
I have.
Who's
Come
watching?
on, Anne, let's see.
I'm still doing it. Not very good. Trees are not my thing.
Oh, that's lovely. Well done, you.
Yeah, that's nice.
I
Yeah,
really like
nice.
that. Yeah, that's great. Well done. I love it.
Does
Clever
not quite so
girl.
good in
Anybody
real
else
life.
brave enough?
No, not brave
No.
enough.
No, you're not. Fair enough. Right. It's nearly 25 past. It's been a bit of a short one today. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see if I can do this. Look who's over there.
Ah,
There she is. Jessie. Jessie, wake up, you little bugger.
ah,
Oh,
ah.
there you go.
Gorgeous.
Star of the show.
She's gorgeous.
She is gorgeous. There's no two ways about it. Definitely gorgeous. Good job. I didn't do that earlier on. I can't get it in the right place again now.
Did she just come to find you, Keith?
Say again.
Did she just come to find you? Did she
Jessie,
know? Yeah, did she go out and then come back
We,
in?
we were well, not advertising. We've been, because Bo was getting old and a bit infirm, we were looking for another dog because you can't replace dogs. We were looking for them, and Rosie, the other spaniel, is 12, nearly 12. So we were looking for another dog, and we were with several rehoming charities, and none of them actually came to anything. And then we lost Bo, as you know, a few weeks ago. And then almost straight away, as if it was meant, this one popped up looking for a home. She was down in Llanelli, so we had to go and get her. And the charities don't just do it on a first come, first serve, they match people. And she was a very quiet, picked upon little dog. And so we went and got her, and she's coming out of her shell really well now. But that's why I was so worried about it this morning. That's why I tried to cancel, or almost, well, did cancel, because she just wouldn't do anything at all this morning. She was just like she was when we first got her. She was totally non-responsive. And it was really very worrying. I thought I was going to have to take her to the vet, but she was all right. And she's been outside for a piddle, haven't you?
And
Clever.
does she come back? Did she come straight in to look for you, Keith?
Did she?
Does she come in on her own to look for you on that little rug?
Oh, on the rug. Oh, I
Yeah.
got you. Yeah, she comes all the way upstairs to lie down on
Oh,
there.
bless her.
The problem is I'm in the loft and it's got
Yeah.
a very steep staircase, and she's all right coming up, but she can't go down. I'll have to carry her down.
Oh, bless her.
But she's little, but she gets scared.
Oh, she's lovely.
A fortnight ago, she was scared of everything. She wouldn't. If you put your hand out to her, she'd just flinch and run and hide. She was,
Oh,
you know, well,
she
she's
looks
been
lovely.
spent
She looks
5
lovely.
years locked in a cage having babies, and that's it.
Oh, bless her.
Right. Anyway, she's here now, and she's going to go downstairs when I can work up the strength to pick her up. And it's a good job it's not Bella, eh, Pauline?
Oh God, she won't get in the car. Philippa has to pick her up and put her in the car.
Yeah. And it's
Except-
a good job she's thinner, she's stronger than she looks, sure, Phil.
Yeah, but a few weeks ago, for some reason, she had both the back doors open.
Yeah.
And she was round the other side, and the bloody Bella jumped in.
Oh.
Oh,
And there's Philippa. Think she's a big bulldog. She's
Yeah.
a rescue, like Keith's, a breed being
She's
used for
gorgeous.
breeding.
She's gorgeous.
But she's
Then again-
big and hefty.
All dogs are gorgeous. Right,
Yes.
I'm going to go now and take her downstairs, and I will take a proper picture of this and stick it on the group. Oh, look, it's all going downhill now. Look, it's all. How on earth I got it on there to start with, I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Toodaloo, thanks for coming. Sorry about all that.
bye. Thanks. Thanks,
Thank you.
Keith.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And
Thank you,
well
everybody.
done, Anne. I really like yours. It's great. There you go. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.